the technology enablers are now there, and we're going to be making that transition, just as we are into self-driving cars, into things like digital currency transactions without hardly even noticing it. For example, when you buy that cup of coffee at Starbucks and you pay on your mobile phone, it could be that the application program interface in your phone last week flipped from using your bank account to a payment system based on digital currencies. And you might have gotten a brief notice with 5 pages of fine print saying, I agree at the end. And as long as you hit that button, you just made that transition without noticing it. I think it could be at the consumer level as quick as that. That's not to say that it's simple. Hundreds of billions of dollars of technology, software and hardware, need to be built around this, particularly software, and a lot of legal work and a lot of regulatory work. And the central banks have to go along with it before it'll be allowed, because it's a concern. It's part of the money supply, and central banks will be responsible for monitoring that. And there are some countries that are thinking about it. China, Sweden, those are 2 countries that are currently contemplating introducing digital currencies at the national level through the central banks of those countries. So change is coming, and I'm very interested in studying the implications of that change.
There's 3 ways a government can generate income. It can tax, but taxes have gone from very low, non-existent levels to very high levels today. Borrowing is the other way governments can generate money, but the levels of debt in the world today are already unsustainable. That leaves a 3rd way, which is to create it, print money. Since the 2007 crisis, governments have been creating currencies by the scores of trillions. None of these paper currencies have any intrinsic value. They're burning matches. This is a catastrophe. It's a disaster of historic proportions that's building up right before our very eyes.
Shalom, 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 shalom. First, let's give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who are leading this word in truth and spirit and sincerity. And salutations to all the righteous Hebrew Israelite brothers that are teaching this word. In the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, in truth and in spirit and in sincerity. Shalom, 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 shalom. So, the one world currency that we keep speaking of, one world currency that is coming. And this could be the year that it will come, that it all falls into shape. It could all happen this year. Absolutely can happen this year. But this plan, this one world currency has always been in the works. Now, for some of you that may know or may not know, there was an article written about this 30 years ago. And it was on the front page of the, where is it? The Economist. Now, I used to get this magazine, but I haven't received it recently. But I used to get it right up until last year. I used to get this every month. This was come out. It's called The Economist. It's a very good magazine. Now, this spoke about this, getting ready for the world currency. Now, this edition that you see here was printed 31 years ago, 32 years ago. This came out in, I'm talking about 33 years ago. 33, January, see on the screen, January the 9th, 1988. this edition was printed. 1988, 33 years ago. Just so you understand how long ESOS had this in the works, and even before that. But this is when they made it public, 33 years ago. On the 9th of January 1988, it was the front cover story of The Economist magazine, and it said, "Get ready for a world currency." And in the article, it predicted that the one world currency would come about around the year 2018, which is just 2-3 years ago, right? 2018, 2 years ago. And this is when they predicted that it will come into play. Now, with what's going on around the world, I can truly believe it's going to come into play this year, 2021. This one world currency is going to show its face this year, this new digital currency. Now, the reason why they put the, as you can see, the front cover of the magazine was the phoenix, the bird, the phoenix, standing on top of the American dollars. As I said to you, and I keep telling you, the American dollar is going to crash, collapse. It's going to go up in flames. So this was the front cover. They showed the phoenix, the bird, the phoenix, crouching over the American dollars, and the American dollars is going up in flames, as you can see. All right? Because once the American dollar collapses, all the other currencies around the world are going to collapse. It's going to be like a dominoes effect. Why? Because the American dollar is the world reserve currency. And this is where the new one world currency, the new digital currency, will come into play. Will come into play. So they've got the phoenix. So you ask yourself, why did they put the bird, the phoenix, on top of the American dollar, on the front cover, 33 years ago, telling you to get ready for a world currency, and the dollars are burning? So, for those of you that may or may not know, the bird phoenix represents what? It's an ancient, it's a mythological bird. It goes back to ancient Greek folklore, all right? It says here, in ancient Greek folklore, is a long-lived bird that's cynically regenerates or is otherwise born again. All right? Regenerates and born again. This is what they're going to do with the money system. They're going to regenerate. It's going to be born again. Something new is going to come out of this. It says here, associated with the sun, a phoenix obtains new life by arising from the ashes of its predecessor. So this current fiat money system is going to go up in ashes. It's going to go up in smoke. And what's going to arise from this is the new digital currency that's going to evolve into one world digital currency. But that's what's going to come from this. It's not going to be Bitcoin. They're not going to allow Bitcoin to take any part of control of this new money system. The cryptocurrency is going to be controlled by the federal banks around the world, mainly the IMF and the World Bank. The Federal Reserve and the EU Central Bank might have a part to play in it. They will have a part to play in it, but the ones that are going to be calling the shots are going to be the IMF and the World Bank. All right? So it says here, it's associated with the sun. A phoenix obtains new life by arising from the ashes of its predecessor. So, you want to know why they got the phoenix? Why they had the phoenix on the cover of The Economist magazine 33 years ago, standing over a pile of American dollars burning? Because that's what it represents. It represents something new coming from something old that's going to be burnt down. And what they're going to take down is the American dollar. The bankers are going to crush the American dollar. They're going to collapse it. It's going to go up in flames. And I keep telling you this. So this is why they use the bird, the phoenix, because that's what it represents. It represents... It says, some legends say it dies in a show of flames by combustion. Others say it simply dies and decomposes before it was born again. It's going to be born again. What's coming again is the new money. So they're going to give birth to a new money system, which is going to be digital. All right? But that's what the phoenix burst represents. It represents new life arising from ashes of its predecessor. Hence, why they had this on the front cover. Remember, this came out in 1988, 33 years ago. Warning you, get ready for a world currency. So, I'm going to quickly read this article, then we're going to pull out some scriptures, all right? So this was a guy that wrote this article here, all right? It says, one world currency by 2018, said The Economist in 1988, right? So, it says here, I've seen a few articles about this here on Steemit and just randomly throughout the internet. I'm not trying to steal anyone's thunder or plagiarize any content. I just want to put my 2 cents in about this and generate some thought and conversation. I want people to open their eyes and see what is really going on in this world. Everything is orchestrated. It's all prophecy. Everything is orchestrated because it's all prophecy, right? But he's come to the conclusion, and remember, he's not even looking at the Bible, but just to show you how the Most High works, all right? He says everything is orchestrated, as we know, because it's called prophecy, all right? It says just keep an open mind and assume anything is possible, because with enough money, power, connections, and greed, it is possible. So in 1988, so we're here now. So in 1988, The Economist put out an issue titled Get Ready for a World Currency. So this is the issue that he's referring to. Get ready for a world currency. This is the 1988 issue that we're speaking of, right? He says the cover of that issue is a picture of a phoenix standing on a pile of burning cash with a gold-colored coin hanging around its neck, right? Because I keep telling you, whatever system they bring in to replace it, gold and silver has to be the bedrock of this new system. Has to be, right? That's why it's got a gold coin hanging around its neck, because this new digital currency that's going to replace all of these fiat currencies will be backed by gold and silver. But it's going to go digital, completely digital. This devil is getting ready. It says here, the cover of the the cover of the issue of a picture of a phoenix standing on a pile of burning cash with a gold-colored coin hanging around its neck. The coin says 10 Phoenix and is dated 2018. All right? So the coin, see, 2018, 10 Phoenix, because that's when they predicted. So we may be 3 years off, because we're in 2021. I believe the conditions are perfect now for them to collapse the money system alongside the economy, side by side, and to use COVID as the reason why the money system has collapsed, because the economy will collapse, then the money system will collapse. And I keep telling you this. This is how these devils are going to play this out. All right? So he's referring to an article going back 33 years with the Illuminati, the New World Order, preparing you, giving you a subliminal message, once again, telling you that this was a future thing. So he says here, he says the cover of the issue is a picture of a phoenix standing on a pile of burning cash with gold-colored coin hanging around its neck. The coin says 10 Phoenix and is dated 2018. Phoenix is obviously a hypothetical currency. Absolutely, it just represents something. But more important than that is the symbolism. And we were showing you the symbolism of what it represents. It's associated with the sun. A phoenix obtains new life. That's going to be your new currency. It represents the new digital currency, the new life, by rising from the ashes of its predecessor. The ashes of this new money's predecessor is going to be this fiat money system. In particular, the dollar. Because once the dollar collapses, the euro will collapse, the pound will collapse. All of these other fiat currencies around the world will follow in tow, will collapse one after the other. So that's what the phoenix represents, all right? That's Esau, boy. That's how Esau gives it. That's why they put the phoenix on the cover, to show you. I mean, they're literally showing you that the dollar's going to go up in flames. It's going to be replaced by a new world currency, which will be backed by gold. So it says here, Phoenix is obviously a hypothetical currency, but more important than that, it is the symbolism. I looked everywhere I could think of to find out who actually authored this article and couldn't find that information anywhere. If anyone out there does know who actually penned it, please let me know. Right? It says the publication, The Economist. All right? The publication, The Economist. We're down here now. The publication, The Economist, is a British financial magazine based in London and owned by the Economist Group. The Economist Group is in turn owned by the family Cadbury's, which makes the chocolates, which is in turn the family Schroeder, which are the family Angeli, which are in turn the same family Leighton, and probably most famous of all, the Rothschild family. Does that ring a bell? The Rothschilds are the head of the Illuminati, the head of the New World Order, the richest family on this planet Earth. So all of these families, the Cadburys, are all members of the same family. They all go back to the Rothschild family because they marry and intermarry with one another, these families, just so you understand. That's how they keep the money between them. That's how they're able to run the world, because they marry and intermarry with one another. All right? This goes right back to what the Romans used to do and the Greeks used to do. Take your daughter, your son, marry to keep the wealth and the power structure within that same family structure, vacuum. It says, for anyone who doesn't know, the Rothschilds are the richest, wealthiest family on the planet. They have their hands in every central banking system in the world. Almost every country is in debt to these people. And I keep telling you that, this is what they're doing. The central banks are loading up the governments with debt until they're ready to call in that debt. That's when they're going to collapse the money system. It says their first real fortunes were amassed by financing both sides of the Napoleonic Wars. All right, that was between the British and the French, between Nelson and Napoleon. All right, that goes back to the early 19th century. It says their first fortunes were amassed by financing both sides of the Napoleonic Wars, then both sides of World War I. They have no loyalty to any nation. They have no codes of ethics when it comes to making money, only the desire to get more. Better yet, all. These people are the power behind the throne. We've been telling you this for so long. They are the driving force behind the what? The New World Order. Nothing new, right? So we're here now. It says 30 years ago, one of their publications says, in 30 years, national fiat currency is going to collapse. We've been saying this for the last 5 years. It's going to collapse. National fiat currency is going to collapse. But it's all planned. I'm not telling you anything that I don't know, in a sense that it's all planned. They've planned to do this. This is why they load up all governments with debt. They make them print money. So they're going to print so much money, and then they're going to call in their debt, and then they're going to collapse the currency and say it's not worth nothing because there's been so much of it printed around the world. Right? This is all designed to happen. But hey, that's what we want, right? That's what we want. We want this to happen because this is where we get to the stage of the microchipping to World War III. Because these are the things, at the beginning it's going to look good, but these are the part of the things that's going to cause the fallout between these governments around the world. This is going to play a part in their division. That's going to play a part in them going to war. But these things must happen first. They got to collapse what they got right now. And that's what they're going to do. This is what the New World Order are going to do. They're going to collapse the whole money system. It says 30 years ago, one of their publications says in 30 years, national fiat currency is going to collapse. Various possibilities of why are given. The outcome is the same though. This article suggests that by 2018, consumers all over the globe will be using the same currency to buy goods. A lot of people believe that Bitcoin is what they are talking about. Right? And I've always said it's not going to be Bitcoin. They're not going to allow Bitcoin to do this. This is going to be controlled by the IMF and the World Bank and the central banks. I don't believe that they are right. Well, he agrees, right? I don't think that they are far off though. It is said that blockchain technology was developed in the late 90s. Bitcoin came online in 2009. Now there are blockchains and cryptocurrencies exploding onto the scene every day. I see blockchain technology as any other tool or weapon. In the right hands, it can do miraculous, wonderful things for mankind. In the wrong hands, with ill intent, it can be used to enslave us on a whole new level. Please keep in mind that I love Bitcoin, this is what he's saying, and what it has done so far. It has shown those who wish to see that central banks and governments don't have to control everything, and there is always a better way to do business. However, the things that make blockchain and crypto great are the same things that make them dangerous. All right? It says here, for those of you that think Bitcoin is a safe way to conduct anonymous transactions and hide money, you couldn't be more wrong. The government has been able to track the movement of Bitcoin for at least 3 years now. What really gets me worried is that the fact that whoever made Bitcoin will not tell us. And I've always said that about Bitcoin. It's this secret guy behind the curtains who created Bitcoin and no one knows who he is. And I totally believe Bitcoin was created by the New World Order to see how much people will get used to using digital currencies. I totally believe it's the New World Order, the Illuminati that created Bitcoin. That's why they won't reveal. No one knows who created Bitcoin. It's a mystery. But that's what they do. They throw things out there. They play both sides of the coin. You got to know this. The Illuminati, New World Order, will play both sides of the coin to make it they believe that you're on your side when they're actually against you. And then they do that thing what they call the carrot and stick. Carrot and stick. That's how they work. So it says, what really gets me worried is that the fact that whoever made Bitcoin will not tell us. I can't imagine why the inventor of something that has changed the future of the human race won't come forward. I can understand how people are recluse and don't want the fame and attention, but I would think that they would still have limited communications through email or something. Wouldn't they at least want credit for it? Well, what if the inventor can't come forward because it would expose their true motives? Absolutely. It says here, I have an emergency stash. I have an emergency stash of cash in my safe, all right? I do side jobs on the weekends for cash, and I sell stuff on Craigslist for cash. We all understand the advantage of those things. Let's say fiat currency crashes and goes by the wayside and the government adopts blockchain and makes a national cryptocurrency, not even a global crypto. I don't believe the governments would accept a decentralized crypto because they would have no control. That leaves a centralized cryptocurrency, like Ripple, but not Ripple. Let's call it a Sam token, as in Uncle Sam. So the government passes regulation. So this is what he's saying, how you believe it's going to go down. All right? So the government passes regulation that allows Sam to be used as legal tender. All employees are paid in SAM. All purchases are made in SAM, and so on. Say goodbye to any emergency funds that nobody else knows about. Say goodbye to making extra money and not claiming it on your taxes. No more hiding gambling winnings or cash from anything. It will all be there on the blockchain for them to see. The only option at the point would be physical silver or gold, which we keep telling you is real money. I said it before. Buy some gold and silver and put it down. If you can. Buy some gold and silver and put it down. I keep telling you about this before. So he says that the only option at this point would be physical silver and gold, which is real money. Real money. Mark my words, they are even going to digitalize assets and precious metals to get iron grip control and all that stuff too. He says, why would the people allow this to happen? They know nobody would go for that if they tried to sell it for what it is. Who is to say that Bitcoin is not a teaser to get people to believe that crypto and blockchain are the best thing since sliced bread. And I've always said that. That's what they keep doing. Bitcoin is the bait on the end of the fishing rod to draw you in. It says everyone who owns it is making money every day. The market cap for Bitcoin is 136 billion. I think today it's gone up to something like 250 billion and growing by the second. The people are sold on Bitcoin. Mission accomplished. The next step is a national crypto. He says, you say it won't happen. Russia banned crypto except for authorized persons. The general consensus is that they don't want their citizens putting money into other cryptos because they are working on a Russian national crypto. I think it is obvious that Putin sees the possibilities for control it has. No drug money hiding by the millions, no tax evasion. Not only that, but they will be able to see everything that those coins are spent on. They will know the health problems you have by the meds you buy. They will know if you have a drinking problem by seeing how much alcohol you buy. They will see if you are buying weapons or ammo. The possibilities are endless. All right? Last part here. It says, all I am saying is that the leaders of the New World Order said it 30 years ago, and it is right on schedule. The inventor of what is going to make it happen will not come forward and be identified. The dollar is on the verge of collapse as Bitcoin is becoming a global powerhouse. I do not believe any of this is coincidence. I also do not believe that Bitcoin is the coin that will be the global currency. Absolutely, because I said it as well. They won't allow Bitcoin. Bitcoin won't be that global currency. Right? I don't think that the coin has been released yet. For a crypto to be a global currency, I think it would need the backing of the Fed, just like I said, the IMF, International Monetary Fund, just like I said, and some other powerhouses like the World Bank and European Central Bank and the Bank of England. They're going to go for the major central banks. It says if they don't agree to use it, then it won't be a global currency. If they can't control it, then they won't agree to it. I could go on forever about this stuff, but I think I got the idea across enough for people to understand what I'm getting at. I'd love to hear anyone's thoughts about this or anything else related to it. So, like I said, this is coming. They understand it. Certain people are writing some serious articles about this new world currency. And like I said, The Economist magazine had it on the front page of their magazine 33 years ago. January the 9th, 1988, it was the front cover. And they depicted a phoenix bird. And they know, that's why the gold is around its neck, that this new digital currency is going to be backed by gold and silver. This is why these central banks are piling up on their gold and silver. Because they know, they understand that real money is gold and silver. And this money that they have today has no backing. No backing. So let's just pull out a couple of scriptures there. We don't want to do too many scriptures, but we're going to have a few here that we can pull out. Genesis chapter 13, all right? Regarding Abraham. Genesis chapter 13 verse 1. And this is why I say biblical scripture will show you certain things, because the Most High only deal with gold and silver. When the Lord comes to take down his nation, he's not coming for their digital currency. He's going to strip them of their gold and their silver, their diamonds and their pearls. Real value. Genesis 13 and 1. And Abraham went up out of Egypt, he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot was with him into the south. And Abraham was what? Was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold. Abraham wasn't rich in fiat money. Fiat money is what Esau, what the devil created to destroy the economies. And it's going to destroy the economy. Fiat money is what this devil created to destroy the economies. And it's going to destroy it. There was a time when you could take your actual fiat currency into the bank and you could exchange it for the exact amount of gold that it was worth. You cannot do that today because gold does not back the money system, and they know that. But the Most High knows. The Most High knows that gold and silver, that's what he deals with. That's real currency. That's what makes a man truly rich, is gold and silver and his substance. Not this money system that they print. Genesis chapter 24. I think you mentioned it here again. Hold on. Start verse 34. And he said, I am Abraham's servant, all right? And the Lord, Yahweh, has blessed my master greatly, and he has become great. And he has given him flocks and herds and silver and gold and men servants and maid servants and camels and asses. Are we not going to have slaves in the kingdom of heaven? Are we not going to have men servants and maid servants in the kingdom of heaven? And we're also going to have gold and silver. When Yahushua comes to take down Esau's kingdom, he's not interested in this fiat money. He's not interested in this digital currency. He's coming to strip Esau of his gold and his silver and to turn him into men servants and maid servants. Exactly like what Abraham had. He's coming to strip Esau of his flocks and his herds and his camels and his asses, you know, all of these goodly things that he has, physical stuff. Yahushua ain't coming to take Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Come on, man. Virtual currency that has no value. He's not coming for that. But that's the world that we're moving into under Esau Edom. When we talk about the devices of this man, how this man works iniquity. When we talk about, I think it's Micah 2:1, because that's all it is. This new money system that this devil's going to put in to replace this current one, all he's doing right now, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. So they devised that iniquity going, all the way back to 1988. 1988, January the 9th, 1988. They were so proud that they put it on the front cover of The Economist. And they even gave you a hint to say, well, around 2018, we're looking to implement this. So this could actually be the actual year because everything's in place economically. The destruction of the economy is happening. COVID is ripping up everywhere. This can actually be the year that it all happens. The changing of the whole money system, going from the fiat money to the digital currency. But the Lord ain't interested in Esau's digital currency, but this is what this man is doing. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it. Because why? It is in the power of their hands. They control the IMF. They control the central banks, the World Bank, the Federal Reserve. They control the Bank of England. The Rothschilds control every central bank in the world. Every central bank in every country is controlled by the Rothschilds. So, but the Most High doesn't see that as anything. That's why Abraham was blessed greatly with flocks, herds, silver and gold. Silver and gold. And that's what he's coming to take from this man. Because, like I said, the gold coin round the neck is showing you that's what's going to back the new system. That's the only way they're going to be able to sell it to you. So gold and silver is what they're going to use to back it, the digital currency. But no one knows how much gold and silver this man actually has in store. He can tell you he's got X amount of tons and he doesn't. It's in the power of his hands. It's in the power of his hands. It is because it is in the power of his hand. He can tell you anything, and he will tell you anything. But he is surely going to collapse this American dollar. Like I said, the phoenix is a mythology bird that represents the rising from the ashes, the burning, something new coming from the ashes. And what's going to come from this is the new digital currency. And what's going to burn is the current fiat currency systems that we have. And the dollar is the main one because the dollar is the world reserve currency. So that has to go for everything else to go. But like I said, it's going to be beautiful. It has to happen. Has to happen. First Samuel's Well, 1 Samuel chapter 2. But I want to go to verse 7. The Lord Yahweh maketh poor, and he maketh rich. He bringeth low, and he lifteth up. He raises up the poor out of the dust, and lifts up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, right? To set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of his glory, right? And we're soon going to inherit the throne of the Most High's glory. For the pillars of the earth, just so you understand, the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, not Esau's. He's just giving it to Esau for a little while. He's come to rip it out of his hand. The pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he has set the world upon them. He will what? He will keep the feet of his saints, whoever the saints, the Israelites, and specifically the elect. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness. For by strength shall no man prevail. So this man, he is in the power seat. He's using all of his strength to prevail, to get what he wants, to do what he wants. This man is this is why he can collapse the money system, because he controls the money system. He's in the power seat. This is why he'll get all the governments to comply, because he's loaded them up with so much debt. When he collapses it, they're gonna be even, we call them yes men now, they're gonna become more than yes men. They're gonna be saying yes and bending over at the same time. So by strength shall no man prevail. So this devil, because he's in the power seat, because the Most High put him in the power seat, he's got the strength and the power. He believes that his New World Order plan is going to prevail to the end, and it's not. It's only going to get so far before the house of cards falls in. But certain things must come to pass. And because the microchipping is going to play a major part of the new money system, in terms of you having a digital wallet on this microchip, they have to crash the current fiat money. They can't allow you to be using pounds and coins, or dollars and cents to spend. They can't have you doing transactions past no. It's got to all be done digitally, just like the brother said in the article. So they can monitor, capture everything you buy and sell, everywhere you go. So by his strength shall no man prevail. The Lord said he will keep the feet of the saints. This is why we just got to keep your faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Because he's going to keep you safe. Keep you safe. The feet of the saints are the elect. The saints are the Israelites, but it's only the elect that are going to be saved out of all of this turmoil that's coming. And part of this turmoil is going to be the collapsing of the current monetary money systems around the world. Absolutely. Luke, the book of Luke, chapter 2. Chapter 2. Now, it just kind of reminds me, doing the Prince, it kind of reminds me of the days of Caesar Augustus, when he was taxing everyone. Everyone had to go back to their own towns and cities and then to register. So Luke says here, in the book of Luke, right? It says, and it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus. And that's what will happen. There will be a decree that goes out from the central banks, from the International Monetary Funds, IMF, from the World Banks, to say businesses and shops can no longer accept pounds and pennies and dollars and cents or whatever currency you're using. You're going to have to go to the bank to turn them in. You know when they say, oh, this currency is no longer in circulation. There'll be a decree that's going to come out to say you've got until the end of the year or a certain time to use up those physical money, those fiat money, before you have to go to the bank and exchange them in, because everything's going to change from fiat to digital. So there will be a decree that comes out from your governments that will be issued to them by the central banks. Who controls the central banks? The New World Order, the Illuminati. They will make the decree. This is why I wanted to just bring this precept up. And it came to pass in those days, in the days of Caesar Augustus, a decree went out from Caesar Augustus. He was the emperor, he was the main man in charge. That all the world should be taxed. All the world should be taxed. All of the known world that the Romans conquered should be taxed. They're going to do the same thing again. All of the world shall use, a decree shall come out so that all of the world shall do what? Have one world currency. A decree will come out. There will be an agreement amongst the governments that it's going to happen on this day, and they're going to give them to that amount of time for them to use up that fiat money, to spend it, or to go to the bank and deposit it before you can no longer use it and spend it anywhere. A decree will come out. Just like in the days of Caesar. And it says, and this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was the governor of Syria. And all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. So everyone was running about, going back to home to be registered to be taxed. It's going to be the same sort of thing. People are going to be pulling their hairs out, everyone's going to be running to get to their banks to deposit their money because they can no longer spend those currencies. That's why you see banks closing down their branches. Don't think that all of these banks closing down their branches is just because, they don't believe that they get enough customers coming into the bank, so they're closing down a particular branch in a particular neighborhood, in a town. They're closing them down because they're getting ready for the whole complete new money system. There's going to be no need for you to go to the bank and withdraw out money because they're going to get rid of it. It's all going to go digital. Getting ready, they're getting properly ready for this. The governments and the systems around the world. Absolutely getting ready for this. Where do I want to go to? Psalms 112. Psalms 112. Psalms 112. 112 verse 1. Praise ye the Lord, Yahweh. Blessed is the man that feareth the Most High. Right? That fears Yahweh. That delighteth greatly in his commandments. His seed shall be mighty upon the earth. The generation of the upright, which are the Israelites, shall be blessed. Wealth and riches shall be in his house. And that wealth and riches that we have now is what is the scriptures, is the word, is knowing what's going to happen. That's the wealth and riches that we have in our house right now. It's not this fiat money that this man has got. We need it and we use it to get by day to day, to pay for our bills, to buy your groceries, to do whatever it is you need to do for your family, for your kids, so forth and that. But we know the true wealth and riches in our house is the scriptures. So it says, wealth and riches shall be in his house, and his righteousness endures forever. All right? Unto the upright there arises light in the darkness. So this darkness that's going to be coming upon the whole world with this new money system, there will be light in the end of the tunnel for the elect of Israel. The Lord will find a way to navigate this whole thing. So we'll be all right. We just know that when they go from the digital currency to implementing the microchip, and then the microchip becomes a digital wallet, that's when you step back, because you're not going to accept the microchip, you're not going to accept the digital wallet. If we all have to use digital currency, then we've got to use it. That's no problem. We use it we've got to use it with your phones, pay it with your phone, with your credit card, however they get to you. But when it comes to putting that digital currency on a microchip, that's when you step back. Because what? Because the Lord, He is what? He is gracious and full of compassion and righteousness. So He'll make sure that you're okay during that time. But that time is coming. And I believe that time is going to be this year. I just believe that they're going to ramp it up this year for that to happen. Because that digital wallet is coming. It's absolutely coming. Matthew chapter 6, verse... Where do I want to go to? Yeah. Give us a little bit more understanding. When I say that time is coming, this is what the Lord says. Because many people are going to go on and take the microchip, take digital wallet, because they're going to get things even cheaper if they accept the microchip and then they use digital wallet. They're going to get discounts and bonuses, and you know, like those people when they go to supermarkets and they give them a bonus card or a discount, a store card, and every store you go to, they're offering you some sort of bonus card to the point that, you know, all you'd have in your wallet would be discount cards and credit cards. There'd be no room for actual physical money. If you were to take a card from every store you went to that you shopped in, that's offering you some sort of discount. So all of those cards will roll up into one. All of those will become part of the microchip once that gets implemented as part of the new money system. Matthew chapter 6 verse 25. So the Lord says this, therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat or what you shall drink, nor yet for your body what you shall put on. It is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not, right? Neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they? Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit unto his stature? And why take ye thought for remnant? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They toil not, neither do they spin. And yet I say unto you that even Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these. Right? Wherefore, if the Most High so clothe the grass of the field, which today is and tomorrow is cast into the oven, shall he not much more clothe you, O ye of little faith? Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or wherewithal shall we be clothed? For all these things do the Gentiles seek. All right? All these things the Gentiles think, the heathen nations. All right? That's all they think about every day. The materialistic things of this world. It says, for your heavenly Father knows that ye have need of all these things. Anything you need in these dark days that are coming during Jacob's trouble. If you have come back to the truth and you consider yourself one of the hopeful elect, believe me, the Lord is going to see you through it. He's going to see you through it. He's looking to bring his elect through the fire. He says, but seek ye first what? The kingdom of the Most High. That's what you look first to. Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Seek that first. And his righteousness. And all these things shall be added unto you. So just seek the Lord first. Don't worry about all of that. We're just warning you and telling you about this. Not for you to be worried about it. We're just letting you know. This is going to happen. So you're spiritually and mentally prepared. When the money system collapses, boom, you knew it was going to happen. When the dollar and the pound and the euro all lose their value, boom, you know it was going to happen. You're mentally and spiritually prepared for it. But seek ye first what? The kingdom of the Most High and his righteousness. And all these things shall be added unto you. So it says, take therefore no thought for tomorrow. For the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is evil thereof. So take no thought of tomorrow. Just know that what? However this thing goes down, however terrible it gets, put all of your faith and your prayer and your trust in the Most High and his Son Yahushai. Seek him first. Because he knows that you are one of the hopeful elect. Seek the Lord first. Jeremiah chapter 22. Couple more precepts. I just needed to get this out to you today, preparing you again to let you know this is coming. So the Lord says here, and this was originally referring to the kings of Israel, right, in Judah. But this simply applies to the kings today, the rulers of today. Woe to him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness. Because that's what Esau has done, right? Esau has built his whole house based on unrighteousness. Woe to him, destruction to him that buildeth his house by unrighteousness, and his chambers by wrong, that uses his neighbor's service without wages, right? That's what he did to us, right? He had us in slavery. Even today, you're still a slave to this system. And the wages that he's paying you is not a fair wage according to how they've allocated this money system that we live in today. That's why people have to keep on borrowing to get by, because it's not a fair system that Esau has implemented, that uses his neighbor's service without wages and giveth him not for his work, because we're truly not being paid for a proper day's work that we do in this devil's kingdom, because this is his kingdom. He has the control, but he knows, just like we know, that he has a very short time. Very short time. So the collapse of this money system is going to happen. Absolutely is going to happen. And Esau himself made it quite clear to you that he's going to do this. Not many of us was reading The Economist in 1988. Some of us might not have been born then. I was still a young boy in 1988. I definitely wasn't reading The Economist back then. That's something that I've been reading for the last 5 years. I hadn't had it over the past 12 months. I'm not even sure why it stopped coming to my house. I may not have renewed my subscription, but I was reading that for several years, The Economist. So this goes back to the 1988 edition that Esau is showing you and telling you. And he even put a year on it. He put 2018. So we're 3 years out of sync. But like I said, this year would be the perfect year for him to collapse the money system. And do like what they're doing for everything else. Blame COVID for everything that's happening. And that's the only reason they're allowing these banks to print up this money out of thin air and load up the governments with debts, because they're getting ready to call in their chips. And when they do, the whole thing is going to come tumbling down. It's all going to go up in flames. That's why they got the bird, the phoenix there, to show you that. That's how Esau works, right? He gives you subliminal messages. So he's got the phoenix bird, he's got the gold coin around the neck. He's put 2018. He said they called the new currency there the phoenix, because that's the new that's going to come from the ashes. They're showing you the dollar going up in flames. So it's coming, just so you understand. It's definitely coming, 100% coming, the collapse of this money system. So, I pray this was an edifying lesson to the brothers and sisters that tune in live, and for those of you that may tune in later. As I say, it's all about feeding the sheep, feeding the flock. 2021, the heads of Great Millstone have decided to call it the year of hastening. And believe me, they're going to hasten in the collapsing of this money system this year. I truly believe it's going to happen this year. And it's just ironic that the elder Tahar of GMS decided to call this year the year of hastening. So look to the hastening of the collapsing of this money system. The dollar, the pound, the euro, the one, to go from fiat to digital. I showed it there. I need to say no more. So let's give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Until we meet again, Shalom, 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 brothers and sisters. All praise and glory. And like I always say, it's all about enduring this to the end. Give all praise and glory to the Father and Son. Shalom, Shalom, Shalom.